Hi Stampers, my name's Diane Roberts. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and this is my first video to put on my blog to help new stampers learn to stamp. I'm going to make a very simple card today. Here I have half a sheet of Primrose Petals, Stampin' Up! Primrose Petals cardstock. I'm going to make a very simple card to show you how easy it is to get into stamping. This is half of a sheet, half of an 8.5 by 11 inch sheet of cardstock cut at 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches. We score it on a scorer. We score it at 4 1/4 and fold. You can either have a landscape or a portrait card. Today, I think we'll do a portrait. We'll do a portrait oriented card. I have also already stamped for time constraints here. I've stamped a Dahlia from our stamp set called Regarding Dahlias. Here you can see the stamp. I've stamped it in Primrose Petals as well on a neutral color cardstock called Natural Ivories. This piece of cardstock measures 3 inches by 3 inches. I've applied the stamp in the Primrose Petals ink as I just said. Here is a classic stamping pad of Primrose Petals. Stampin' Up! Pads are really cool because when your pad is stored like this, when you put it away, your ink pad is upside down, so all the ink is staying nice and fresh. Then you flip it and click it to use it. Nice juicy ink pad. But I always get ink on my hands. So I've stamped the Dahlia, and now what I do is I use acrylic stamps. Here's our sentiment. It's going to say happy birthday. Happy birthday. It's an acrylic stamp that you place on an acrylic block. Still a rubber stamp, but you just stick them on and off. So I've already stamped the Dahlia, which we're going to attach to this piece of cardstock with a little bit of double-sided tape. Oh, as you can see, this side didn't come out as nicely as it should have. So that's our wrong side. That's the great thing about stamping. Paper has two sides. When you make a mistake, flip it over and use the other side. So here's our Dahlia, which we will center on the 3 1/4 by 3 1/4 piece of Primrose Petals. And the secret of double-sided tape is to burnish the edges. Now, on our Primrose Petals, we're going to place another piece of Naturals Ivory, which is 1/4 inch shorter than our cardstock base, which this measures 5 1/4 by 4 inches by 5 1/4. But before I affix this to the card, we want to stamp a sentiment. We're going to stamp happy birthday on the card in the lower end here. What I've already, and I'm going to use a Stamp-A-Majig. This is a Stamp-A-Majig. It's a piece of clear plastic piece of media in which you stamp up your image, and you put the piece of plastic in the T-square of your Stamp-A-Majig. Once it's in there, you use the corner of your stamp and place it, stamp your image. Then you know when you stamp it on your actual product, it will be straight, because what you're going to do is place this piece of plastic where you want your image to end up, which I think that looks pretty good right there. So you take your T-square again, stick this here, pull away the plastic, take your stamp, ink it up, and stamp. Then straight up, straight down. When you remove it, you have a nice straight stamp that says happy birthday. Very, very good. Okay, now what we're going to do is decorate. I want to decorate this piece of Naturals Ivy with a little piece of Primrose Petals ribbon. So what I'm going to do is just cut a piece off. I'm going to use a little bit of glue, the Tombow glue. For purposes of the video, I should have made sure this thing was sticking upside down previously. And what I will do is just put the glue on the back of the cardstock, determine where it is I want to place this ribbon. I want it kind of near the edge, not too much, but just something to, dress up the card a bit. And of course, I'm full of glue. Happens all the time. You need to pull it tight. There we go. So now I have to flip my scrap paper over because I got it full of glue, of course. You can use snail. It's probably easier to use snail on the back side of this thing. But I thought the glue would hold it quicker for purpose of the video. So now we have our ribbon on our cardstock, and we'll want to place our dahlia probably right about here. So what we can do is, hopefully this is going to be down far enough. You can always put some, oh what the heck, why don't we try some snail? I'm going to try to put some snail on the back of the ribbon. Maybe it'll hold a little better. Get it nice and straight on the cardstock. As you can see, card making is just a series of trial and error to get things the way you want them to be. Straighten that out a bit. There. Okay, now we will add more snail to the back of the card. It will stick to the front of our main card. Place this here as straight as we can. Okay. Shit. This is bone folder. Help to ensure that I stick everything down. And what I'd like to do is pop this up a bit with some dimensionals. I'm just about out of dimensionals, but this is the good thing about Stampin' Up! Dimensionals. You even use the edges. You can use the edges of your dimensionals. Everything works. Nothing's wasted. Just putting some double stick foam, sections of foam, double stick foam, which are called dimensionals, on the back of this piece of on this image of the dahlia, so that we can pop it up on the design to give it a little bit of dimension, a little bit of interest. And then we'll see how our card looks after this is affixed. Here it is, a bit off center on this side to this side. All right, now there's a very pretty happy birthday card. If you don't think you have it quite straight, you've got a little bit of a time to just, I think it was fine. Make sure it's stuck down. And there you have it. Happy birthday in regarding dahlias and primrose petals. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you give the card a try.